Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Vintage Messiah, and I would hope to have some co-hosts on here one day. Hope all is well. Hope we're all appreciating, or at least looking forward to, the nice weather we'll be having. Rain is just a tax. It's kind of odd for me to say that starting a podcast in the middle of a pandemic was actually the best thing for me, because I'm sure a lot of people lost their ability to have social interactions with everything going on, and were forced to stay indoors and find new ways to make connections and spark creativity again. But what about 2 years before that? 1 year before that? How far back can we go? I guess the question I'm trying to ask you is, who am I? Surfing through the internet, source by watching cartoons. Yeah, they give TVMRS. Now they seeing how we move it. You know, seeing other planets, making music, speakers booming. Got no time for marionettes. I stay banging by my loneliness. Yeah. Time to take a trip to outer space. Time to take a trip back to cartoon land. Time to take a trip. Yeah, we coming back. Time to take a trip. Just chill, relax. Time to take a trip on the road again. The Vintage Messiah Radio Show. You just leveled up. Keep listening. Hi. So for those of you who are wondering, I am in fact Vintage Messiah. Many people know me for many different things, so let me lay it on the table. I make music, sometimes loops. I engineer audio, I edit videos, I make art, animations, graphic design, voice acting, and photography, as well as videos. I guess you could order any of those. Anyway, what I was trying to ask earlier was, who was I before I gave myself a different name, like Vintage Messiah? The answer goes way back, but I want to explain something to you. There was a point in your life when you didn't have social media, standards, rules, or expectations. You don't have to think that far back into it. But for me, that age was when I was 15 to 16. See that? Easy answer. But if I just gave you an answer without an explanation, that'd be like scoring the 1 on a finals of an English New York State exam. That's not my goal here. So, allow me to explain, and sit back and relax to this music after the commercial break. It's Vintage Messiah, only on it. Today's episode of the Vintage Messiah Radio Show is brought to you in part by the Sauce Pack Shop and the Yo Vintage website. On my website, you can find all my links, such as my Twitter, Instagram, Ko-fi, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, YouTube, and more. Be sure to visit us at www.sites.google.com/view/vintagemessiah/home. For all your digital media needs and services, as well as in-person services, be sure to visit my social media on Instagram at Vintage Messiah H and Twitter on Vintage Messiah, where my work is regularly posted, as well as ways to contact the team. Thank you so much for your continued support. Now, back to the show. It's Monday morning. You just spent the weekend with your siblings, and it was a fun time. You lay up in your bed with your phone next to you, looking at the time. You listen for breathing or movement, or the sound of early morning hustle from the other room. You hear silence. The lights are off, and it's pitch black. You finally check your clock. 4:44 a.m. You wake up and realize this is a good time to start your day. Full of energy and wonder, you get up and turn on the most important lights. Nobody is home. You take the breakfast made for you, put it into your bag, and pack it. And you make a can of Chef Boyardee with secret ingredients that can't be exposed to the public. You get dressed, bathed, and prepared, making sure that you pack your homework and video games. as well as some gym clothes. Last thing you get before everything else is some headphones to set the music and tone for your day. You remembered your art supplies and your money, as well as your Metro card. This is New York City after all. Way too early for someone your age to be out at this time. Or is it? You pick some trending rap music, even though you have anime, K-pop, electric, and trap music downloaded. You start walking the busy roads, streets, sidewalks, and more to get to your train station as quickly as possible. Once there, through all the trouble of walking, you swipe in and make it just in time to start a wild adventure. Maybe I should draw something. I didn't bring any video game cases with me. I don't have any internet. I know. Maybe I can draw something out the window. I mean, I did all my homework. Man, I want to watch some anime. Some tokusatsu would be good. Did I try out that Chinese place yet? I heard they have really good chicken. I hope I make friends in the future. Oh, it's my train. Yeah, that would be what you call my virtual reality morning high school routine, the demo. Not like I would plan to make it into a full series, but let me know if that's something you'd like to see more of. But I did kind of break the rules. I said I would give a full answer, but that's not what I meant. Back at the age of 15, I would really be all over the place. 9th and 10th grade was surely one of the greatest times of my life for sure. And maybe it was due to the amount of independence I was given, or took rather. For those of you that don't know, I lived in NYC for most of my life. While I was there, I was able to experience a lot of different awesome things that happened to me. Even an anime saga, which could be its own story for another time. And I even went back to the city for a couple more adventures. But let's talk about back then, not now. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier to get up on time for school, as I had to travel halfway across Brooklyn in a 1-hour trip by train, or bus if I felt a little spicy that day. I always found cool extra special route to get to school that would take a little longer, so I had to leave a little earlier, so I could see all of NYC on the train only. I was the MTA master, who had the whole map of NYC memorized by heart. My favorite pastime was drawing on the train with headphones in, just looking out the window and looking at all the stops and the kinds of people that would get on each time. I was coding my first operating system I had made from scratch and making cartoons on my computer during coding class. Those were just hobbies for me though, they weren't my goals. My goals were seeing every train stop the MTA had to offer, no matter how many routes I took. And I achieved 73% of my goal to this day. This was before I gave myself any account name online and before I took any nicknames from anyone. Now, I was being who I was back then. This is who I was, Messiah, the Underground Explorer. Now I'm a content creator as well as a multimedia producer. So, what were you like when you were younger? I hope my story helps you find an answer to that question, whether it be after the fact or right now in the comments on my social media. Tag me on Instagram or Twitter. Links will be in the episode description. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.